You're with Weekend Sunrise. The scenes of the world reacting to the coronavirus have been difficult for adults to process, let alone children. So exactly how do parents explain to their kids what is going on?
Well, we're fortunate enough this morning to have two leading parenting experts with us, Maggie Dent and Canadian author Dr. Vanessa Lapointe, who's a psychologist and a mother, both are mothers, with a new book out. Now, Vanessa's book is called Parenting the Right Way from the Start, and it's awesome. Maggie, we'll start with you. We love having you on, so it's perfect to have a familiar face to tell us at home what we should be telling our kids about coronavirus, because they're asking.
Absolutely. And it does need to come from our parents. So once again, you need to be that big, safe, calm growing up, just the same during the bushfires, same during unexpected deaths, same during any adverse event. What you need to be is the calmest growing up in the room. Your next job is to give them enough information that's age appropriate. So my challenge to you is probably saying this is a really, it's a nasty virus. However, 80% of people will get it very mildly and not very serious. So the 20% of people, I think it's also not impacting children. I think that's still happening. So that's really an important message for kids. Yeah, it's not coming for you, but it is coming for those who have health challenges and our elderly. So my 3 tips to give kids agency, to not let them feel so powerless, is to really nail home the washing and how to wash for long enough, happy birthday twice and everything. My gorgeous granddaughter yesterday, 4 years of age, Miss Miller, gave me a demonstration and man, she's nailing it.
Good
So
on
can you see what I
Miller.
mean? When you give them that, then they'll also remind the grown-ups who can get a bit slack.
Yep.
Number 2 is that our schools are running out of soap. So can you please just send some extra? Because we've got to keep that happening. You can't just send them along, there's no soap, right?
Yeah.
And the third one is, can you find some elderly people in your community who we would like to be able to stay at home as much as possible and we can support them coming from a collective space.
That explanation gives us all agency, I think, not just children.
Yeah.
I think it's an
and
excellent
no more
way.
of the P words, please. No more. Whether it's poo, pandemic or panic.
Good advice.
Good.
The two of you are giving parenting advice more broadly as well, and it's really fascinating. Vanessa, how has the recommended approach changed over the past few, I guess, decades, particularly when it comes to disciplining small children?
Yeah, what we know now from the science of child development is how we used to approach discipline, which was often about shame and blame and punishment, really doesn't work in terms of growing children's brains in the best possible way. And so rather, we want to approach discipline always with a foundation of connection. So it's out with timeouts, out with smacking, out with all of those kinds of things, and in with relationship. You be firm, you have rules, norms, regulations, boundaries, expectations, and you be kind.
Vanessa, you talk about parenting with swagger. What do you mean? And give us an example of how to get your kids to do something that you want, like come to the dinner table.
Yeah, so parenting with swagger is all about knowing that you are the answer, even if you have no idea what exactly.
So you have to be a fraud sometimes.
Yeah, you got to kind of drop it like it's hot. You know what I'm saying? So if you wanted them to come to the dinner table, we have this rule where you must connect before you direct. So you come and you join alongside your child, knowing full well that they will come to the table because that's your job. And you say, look, what do you have going on here? I love this thing that you're building. It's so spectacular. By the way, I need you at the table. In 2 minutes, hands washed, you understand. Connect, then direct.
Do you drop it like it's hot with your kids?
That is life-changing. The other thing to remember, it is life-changing because as soon as you do it, it works, because it never works when you yell from downstairs and you go, you sound like a crazy person and they don't know why you're being a crazy person, but connect with them first, they will come in. The other thing, Maggie, to remember is we're going to stuff this up along the way.
Absolutely. And I think that's what I love about Vanessa's book and the way that we both approach this. There's no perfect. And that being a good enough imperfect parent who steps in with swagger most of the time and is that tender, loving parent that wakes up with a toe up their nostril is exactly what parenting is about. And that there is no, like you're going to have days it's not going to go well. So put the stick down, because that's what we keep hearing, parents beating themselves up because there is the meltdown in the shopping centre or the child has refused the cup because you gave it the wrong colour. That is all developmentally incredibly normal. It's not a bad child.
Or a naughty
child who needs to be punished in order to make... So that brain development that Vanessa talks about, when you really understand it, we keep talking to them like they're old enough to understand and they're not.
Yeah, all right, and do it with love, but don't be too wishy-washy.
No, swagger
to
up.
yourself. Vanessa, it's such a great book. I absolutely love it. Parenting from the start. I'm just going to start now. My youngest is 4, eldest is 9.
Never too late.
Never too late. Maggie, Vanessa,
Thank you
so good
much.
to see you both. Thank you so much.
Excellent swagger as well.